Before we do intros, guys, let's give a big shout out to SC2SEA.com and Silicon Esports Silicon Sports, for being the I guess sponsors and promoters of this event. We would not have this without them, so give them a bit of love, guys. You can find more information about them on the Team Liquid thread and on the SC2SEA thread, so make sure to check that out. But getting into this is only Game 2, believe it or not, in this best of 3 between MaFia and MajOr. And spawning here in the top right corner, spawning blue, spawning Zerg, it is Team Immunity's MaFia.
And on the other side of the map, Cloud Kingdom. He's in red. He is from Korea's Kespa teammate. It is MajOr, playing under the account Eric Cartman.
And I mean, if MaFia can beat MajOr in this series, he will have taken out 2 teammate players in one night. If that is not a confidence booster, I don't know what is.
Yeah, I would say not even a confidence booster, just the ability to play out this like 2 series versus some high level Terran players. I would say though that if any, I feel bad for saying this because he's a good player, but Nuge almost felt like a warm up in comparison to the amount of
I know, like MaFia
multitasking.
I've heard so much about this guy. I have not seen him firsthand until tonight, and I am impressed.
Oh yeah. Well, could you say I am MaFia?
No, I can't, because I am Rifkin. I'm also casting with NTO's Weak Link, for anyone curious about who's casting here today. Really great pleasure and a great honor to be able to cast these games, as, I mean, games up to this point have been good. This series has been great.
Yeah, and I want to talk to chat real quick. Oh, never mind, chat's got it. Chat is awesome if you're watching these VODs on YouTube, because I know they will get posted there. Nuge was the other Kespa teammate Terran that MaFia had to play against. It was earlier in the round. It was in round 3, I want to say, and then round 4 was versus Fnatic Erase Fronterer, and then here we are, semifinals, MaFia versus MajOr. Game 2, MaFia's up 1-0.
Okay, some trolling going on in chat. I love it. I love you guys for tuning in. It makes this experience that much better for us. But okay, MaFia, I don't think he's going to be afforded the same opportunity to starve MajOr out on this map. He could try, but that's not going to win him the game, I feel. As it's much easier to take the extra bases versus a Zerg player on this map. But we got to keep in mind, MajOr let MaFia's creep get so out of control last game. Like, it was ridiculous. And if MaFia, I mean, like I said, you could measure creep spread as kind of that silent secondary indicator of who's winning the game. If MaFia can pull off that level of creep spread again, MajOr is not going to be happy with himself. Not because he'll be losing the series, but because he knows, like, wow, I really let a Zerg player do that to me twice in a row.
Yeah, and I mean, if anything, the way MajOr played that game out, if the creep spread wasn't that good for MaFia potentially could have just lost that to the drops. Because he needed to be able to be everywhere, and he needed to be there in an instant, because those drops were in so many different locations doing so much damage. That really shows you how necessary that creep is at this point in the metagame for StarCraft 2 and TvZ.
Yeah, and I want to point out we got gases coming out early out of MajOr, so this will probably be a Hellion Banshee opening. I would love for him to transition to mech off this. We were gushing a little bit about mech last time. Did not get to see it. But what I will do real quick is give these players Twitters here in chat.
And while
so you can check them out, guys. Yep. Keep a follow on what they do, where they are.
While Rifkin takes care of that, I will say that this is one of the best maps for mech. So yes, I'm going to put it out there again. I'm going to say most likely, MajOr goes into mech off of this, but there is always the potential that he goes into bio. It depends on what he wants, style he wants to play, and how he's feeling. But he is more known for his mech play than his bio play, and that's just how it was for a long time. So it'd be interesting to see though if this is what his time in Korea has changed the most about him, is that stylistically he's now more of a bio player than a mech player. So we see those Hellions kill off the Zerglings at the Watchtower and sick control. Wow, he's like almost
I like too that he's going
over
for
micro that.
I really like that he's not taking Cloak off this, because it's really easy to shut down Cloak. And, I mean, you can make the argument, and I gotta say, quite frankly, it's effective to see Cloak in the late game, try to pick off Infestors, but using that gas instead, allocating it to Bio, so we're not going to see Mech, unfortunately, by the looks of it. But, I mean, having Stim is also a very nice precautionary thing, so he could change his mind, but, I mean, the gas being donated to Stim instead of... I gotta say, this is probably gonna be a Bio game. Yeah, double engineering bacon for himself.
No, it's a Bio game once there was Stim research. Unless there's like a new meta build, that'd actually be like really sick if somebody came up with a build where you opened up Stim and did like a 2-base push with Biomech, and then you went into full mech afterwards. And I think it would be entirely possible in HOTS because you get the automatic siege tech.
I think that'd be a lot less metagame and more like Day 9 Apollo Mind games, if anything.
Well, the only reason why I say metagame is because that was actually Flash was using it at the end of Brood War.
Hang on, Curtis. At the natural, the Queen. Oh, why did MaFia do the inject? He had gotten 3 free hits on the Banshee. He could have taken that fight head on and taken the Banshee out, instead losing the Queen from that choice to inject. I don't know that I like that choice, but okay, whatever. Banshee lives to fight another day.
And we just see and as you were saying, MajOr has done his best to keep this creep spread in check, and he's coming back in with the Banshee. It will take out this creep tumor, not the second one though, but this Queen comes out to place more creep tumors down to make sure that creep spread gets going across the map as quickly as possible. And we are seeing that Roach Hydra style, and this is very interesting coming out from MaFia. And I'll be honest, I have not seen enough of this to really understand it.
The downside to it, like, okay, Roach Hydra is actually a really great composition. Hydras have taken and replaced the role of the Infested Terrans ever since they lost their ranged upgrade buff. Or, sorry, well, I guess took the nerf for it. But the thing that's so problematic with this is Hydras just die to damage. It doesn't matter what style MajOr decides to play. Hydralists, once you break the Roaches, they just die so quickly.
And MajOr, knowing that the Hellions are going to die, attempts to swoop back in for one more barbecue, but does not get it. 6 drones killed so far, and only 2 Hellions left. Kind of an interesting wall off, though, with the 3 bunkers with 2 behind, and now he can't.
I think he was expecting a much earlier retaliation.
Yeah, I think so.
I mean, like, when you're poking around with that Hellion Banshee, it almost provokes a Roach counterattack, which MaFia has built for, but didn't actually go for.
Right. And there we see the 4th coming down, so MaFia getting ready to go into that super late game. And this is interesting, I think, because it's so different from MaFia.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the... Oh, let's see how many drones now. Still at 6. Wow, he didn't kill any with that. It's interesting enough. Actually mistimed it slightly as the drone transfer came in.
I have to point out, this is very important. MajOr has not seen the Hydra den yet. As far as he knows, it's just Roaches. And you think, like, okay, it's Roaches, I can deal with it, no problem. If you don't have the appropriate amount of units out, like, the Hydras are going to shred through most units that a Terran player has. It comes down to a unit battle, not a composition battle.
Yeah, and we do see 1 drop and 1 push, so this push should be able to wipe out the 4th base, while the drop should be able to put some pressure on the 3rd. We do see the Hydras, they're being a little indecisive, and he will lose the 4th because of it. No cancel. Where'd the drop go?
But here comes the drop at the main. And he's going to get a lot of worker kills with this, and if he evacuates, you can take out that Hydra den if necessary.
Yeah.
Will he decide to change? No, the Hydralist will chase us off. He's got to be a bit careful going for the 3rd base now.
Oh,
I like that
all
choice.
The Roaches die at the push at the natural, but MajOr does not go for it, and instead the Marines get dropped out at the 3rd, and they will all get wiped out as they do still.
Yeah. But now he's seen the Hydras, he knows what's up, and we see a ton of units in production now. And that's the thing, like I said earlier, the Hydras, they've got such high DPS, but it comes down to a unit battle, not a composition battle. Because, you know, the only thing that really counters the Hydras, and I'm saying counters very lightly, is Hellions, because they do so much damage, and Hydras tend to be clumped a little bit, but I mean, with a Bioforce, you just need a ton of Marines, and you will overrun your opponent once you breach that Roach wall. But
yeah, sorry about that. I really love though this Banshee positioning. Like even though it just died,
you saw stuff.
Yeah, it saw stuff coming. It was also denying creep to a certain extent. And now we're seeing the siege up. We're seeing a drop go into the main. A drop should be coming along here for the natural.
Hit squad of Marines as well. MaJOr has got this under tow this game.
He covered the creep there. He stims in for the drone line. The
main, the natural, the third base, everything is getting hit right now.
Yeah, let's see how many
fourth,
drones.
yes, sorry.
19. Both gas
I think it's an extractor.
Down.
Yeah.
Oh, he picks up and he's going to go drop in the fourth. And now he's going to push for the third. Picks up and goes to go land in the third. The queen is there, though. Not.
Oh, he's going to lose the medevac.
Oh, well, boom. The Marauder gets out. That's the important unit to get out there in that situation.
But MaJOr, he's playing so differently than he was last game. He's losing a bit of control of the map again with the creep tumors creeping forward. But, I mean, he's got some beautiful drops actually being effective this time. MaFia, though, I'm not sure. Last time he had a lot of static defense that cut these drops out. He chose not to go for this game.
Oh,
a big
he doesn't push it. He goes home to defend this
He could have taken that third base, but MaJOr evacuated. He evacuated anyways, but he's going to lose this fight at the third. The tanks are getting cleaned up. The Marines trying to focus down the back. These medevacs have got to get out of dodge. Meanwhile, let's check the workers killed at this point. MaJOr has picked off 21 drones. I mean, he's got a slight lead to workers right now. Big point, though, is he picking off that gas in the main, I feel is really important when you see your opponents going for something so gas-heavy like Hydralisks.
Well, the big thing is right now that, like, MaJOr just can't crack MaFia's army. He just... The roaches are in large enough supply that they're just keeping the Hydras alive and allowing the Hydras to do all the DPS. And it's not like roaches do nothing damage-wise. Roaches do their fair share. Cute snipe. Losing a roach and a Hydra for the sensor tower. Really smart, intelligent move there. And one Marine keeping a tab on the fourth.
Spread. Yeah. The creep spread is right outside MaJOr's base now. This is getting a bit out of hand. He should start cleaning this up, I imagine. There we go. But MaFia, again, going for the Ultralist transition. But I feel he's not nearly as ahead this time as he was last time. He doesn't have the tech for it.
Well, he doesn't have the fourth for it, so the gas is very limited. So he can only get so many, while last time he was up to 14 Ultras at one point. And pretty rapidly, too, because he was able to secure so many bases. But MaJOr just decides to take the other base in this situation, so clearing creep in a different location now. So we do see the army from MaFia go to clear out this Marine hit squad.
Yeah, I don't know, there's not really a clock on this game per se, but the further this goes, the harder it's going to be for MaJOr to really obtain this base. It's landed and it's morphing right now, or upgrading rather. It's a Terran, but I mean, look at this army pushing in. The Marines, there's just not enough numbers here, and the Hydras are walking over everything.
Well, actually, the
reinforcements actually,
back are the ones that allow this to battle swing
well, here's the thing.
way.
This is what I'm talking about. The roaches, they get broken, and once Hydras don't have roaches to tank for them, they're so squishy. At 80 health, they're such breakable units.
And his question is whether or not MaJOr's going to try and quick push this, and he will. He will try and snipe this base off.
Each of these units has its personal medevac. But the Hydralisks are still scary because the thing is, they will out DPS a medevac heal. No question about it. And meanwhile, taking a look at the worker count, it is 88 for MaFia versus 66 of MaJOr, but the Ultralisks are coming now. And while they don't have damage, they're going to tank a lot. And, you know, if roaches are good at tanking, Ultralisks are even better.
But, yes, but the thing is that MaJOr does have a few Marauders mixed into his composition, so it's a little bit better than last game, but still
This is really cool. He's not focus firing the Ultralisks with the tanks. He is, in fact, choosing to go for the roaches and the Hydras, which is a really good choice, in my opinion, because he knows he can't really fight that head on. But the Ultralisks only have +3 armor. They don't have a lot of damage attached to them. This planetary should stand.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting decision to go into Ultras from a Roach Hydra composition because you don't get those melee upgrades. But now we are seeing the Ultras get pushed back, and the army just isn't... It doesn't seem as big as MaJOr's.
Well, I'm pretty sure Mafia's mindset here is just use the Ultralist to tank in lieu of the Roaches and have the Hydralists be the DPS behind it. And that will work perfectly because not only do Hydralists not... I mean, the Ultras will soak so much splash damage from those tanks, the Hydras won't have to worry about it. There won't be any zoning going on. He's just going to move forward and have a big-ass shield of meat in the form of an Ultralist.
Right. And now MaFia going to go try and snipe this drop. Once Major gets wind of this, though, he might have a quick stim and try and take out this hatchery.
Dead. Goodbye, medevac.
Bye-bye full medevac. Never mind.
I hate to see it. It's too early to call, but I would really hate to see Major go 0-2 like this. But the course of the game, the way it's going, it looks like that might just happen.
He should be able to hold here. That's great siege tank positioning. He's going to need good army control. He did drop in the natural as well.
Ultralisk on the high ground going for the tanks, though. Ultralisk trying to flank, but they're tanking for nothing right now as the Hydras are not with the army. He can't afford to throw them away like that. They're such expensive units. Sensor tower goes down, but meanwhile a drop in the natural does clean up the hatchery. Should be able to get the infestation pit. I would like for him to go for the ultra layer.
He's actually just taking out the drones as the planetary dies. Marine Marauders attempting to take out the roaches, but that's not as effective.
No, MaFia though, with a bit of miscontrol there, has Ultralisk dance around and loses a lot of Hydralisk for the cost of it. But Ultralisk now trying to chase these SCVs around. This is how bad the damage is, by the way. Ultralisk have 15 versus, this is Wings of Liberty, they don't have the upgraded damage. They do almost no damage to light. I mean, with +3 armor, they're only hitting for 12.
And we are seeing another hit squad of 3 Marines attempting to clean out more creep from MaFia. Oh, some bad rallies here from MaFia. He gets a few roaches for free. A few more, actually.
Major, I kind of feel at this point with the amount of scans he spent taking out creep, he needs to just build a Raven. Right. Like, it would have been so cost effective years ago. Not to mention point defense turn helping with the Hydralisk attacks, but...
I think Major's economic damage at the natural finally kicked in with this battle, and we're now seeing the consequences of it. He needs to retreat here, though. He can't take this fight. He needs to take it with the tanks. But he's losing too much bio.
When these medevacs, got to be careful. They're starting to get focused down by the Hydralisk in the back. He needs these medevacs so desperately to keep his army alive. But, there we go. The roaches fall, and as the roaches fall, the Hydras almost immediately go down. Like, that is so weird to think about, having such a high damage unit that is so weak.
Right, to see it so weak. We see once again those 3 Marines taking out more creep. We're seeing more bio push out. We do see a lot of changelings here to keep an eye on things, but really it doesn't matter because right now MaFia just wants to hold as desperately as possible. He wants to get up this 4th. He wants these drones to get there because he doesn't have a natural and he hasn't had a 4th for most of this game. That's been a big thing, is MaFia's army trades have to be perfect, like spot on, because he did not have a full stable economy that Zerg wants with this kind of force. And now we're seeing the reflection of it with Major going up in supply. And he's now stemming over to take out this 4th.
Oh, and as to chat, actually big point here, there is in fact no concussive shells on these Marauders.
Yes, there is.
Oh, okay, it just kicked in.
Yeah, okay.
It wasn't there a second ago.
Okay, I was like...
I just checked, like it must have just finished teching at the same time, but like, I mean, without that for so long, yeah, he's been having a hard time kiting.
He can't even lift because of the Hydras.
Well, he's coming in from behind with the reinforcements. He should be able to take this fight.
Oh,
there are enough
he's getting
medevacs here.
sandwiched here by Major's reinforcements. This is not good for MaFia. While enough was left, 2 Marauders took out the base there. And yep, that looks to be it for MaFia's army. He's going to have to mount a sick defense if he wants to hold on, though, in this game at this new 4th he's trying to get up.
This is almost a complete role reversal of last game, though. We see MaFia mining out, desperately trying to get some economy going, and Major's just shutting him down at every turn.
This is really well played, though, by both players, as we see. Cancels and then replants it because of the Ultras being there. Ultras now having +1 melee attack, but just too much bio, and GG comes out.
We're gonna have Game 3 with Major and MaFia!
Woo!